What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seatbelt. Okay, so there was just a fair bit of saltiness that was coming my way based on my video from yesterday. PUBG on the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. And the performance wasn't very good. Wasn't very good at all. And this saltiness proves that people, they want to fling insults towards the Switch for dropping a couple frames here and there. But when it comes to this system they just bought, they'll defend the hell out of 4 frames per second. They'll defend the hell out of 11 frames per second on a supposed uncompromising 4K experience. But the funny part about that whole thing is now you got people saying, you're a Nintendo gamer. You're the last one that should be talking about frame rate. I'm sorry, what? Who? Huh? What? 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 I'm sorry, what? Nintendo gamers are the last ones that should be talking about frame rate? You sure about that? Because the last time I checked, out of all the console manufacturers, Nintendo was the only developer where about 90% of their internally developed exclusives have been 60 frames per second for the last, count them, 3 generations. Even going back to the original Wii, most Nintendo developed exclusives were 60 frames per second. So, if anything, as far as consoles go, Nintendo gamers are the only ones that should be really be able to talk about frame rate. This crap is hilarious because a lot of these same people didn't even give 2 craps about 60 frames per second until this generation. A lot of these same people said they didn't even like how 60 frames per second looked because they didn't know what they were talking about.
I don't like 60 frames. It looks weird to me. I'll stick to 30.
Yes, yes. Niggas actually said that. Nintendo has prioritized 60 frames per second in most of their games for the last 15 years, more than that, right? So no. Have that seat. Or maybe not 15 years, maybe about 10 years 11 years. But that crap's hilarious to me. It's hilarious that some of these same people used to bash Call of Duty's graphics, saying, well, why doesn't Call of Duty look as good as these other shooters? They're just using this old engine. Or maybe it's the fact that Call of Duty has always been focused on delivering 60 frames per second and that other stuff was 30. But y'all don't have a problem with that then. Not until this generation, right? Look, it's not our fault that Microsoft advertised and is marketing the Xbox One X as an uncompromising 4K experience. Nobody told them to do that. Nobody told them to do that. All your blame should go towards them.
You can't talk about graphics. You play Nintendo games.
Last time I checked, the Nintendo Switch was not marketed as an uncompromising 4K experience. Hell, it's not even marketed as an uncompromising 1080p experience. So until that happens, which is never, have that seat. Don't defend 4 frames per second. 4? Now, I've known to be a little bit lenient with little small frame rate dips here and there, but 4 frames per second? 4? 4! Come on now. 4 frames per second. That's unacceptable. Just like the slowdown in WWE 2K18 on the Switch is unacceptable, which is why I made a video making fun of that too. Stop damage controlling. It's disappointing, period. It's false advertising, period. And it's not like this is just some random small developer or some random game that's being ported. This is one of the most popular games right now, and they're getting help with the porting process from the niggas that made Gears of War 4. So it's not like this is like just some some quick port. That's a problem. I mean, imagine if they showed a game on the Nintendo Switch that was dipping down to 4 frames per second, even though Retro Studios was helping port the game over. You'd be like, what the hell? That is like the same thing that's going on right now. Don't be getting mad at me. Blame yourself. Blame Microsoft and have that seat.